Okay everyone, I'm going to show you today how to make a secret recipe. Yes, it is probably the best biscuits you've ever tasted in your life. And we're going to use ingredients that we have around us. That's the key to it, okay? You might need to buy a few bits, but I bet you've got in your cupboard or your fridge or you can forage or whatever. It's basically what I've done to make these amazing biscuits, okay? So there's no precise recipe here. We're just, you gotta flow it a bit, right? You gotta just go with it a bit. But there's some basic principles, and I'll share them. All right. So we've got some oats. Oats are so cheap. We got a sack of oats, and costs us like £5 for these gluten-free oats, organic oats. So you can pick up some bargains. All right. That's a cup, wasn't it? And that's half a cup of flour. I've got gluten-free flour here, self-raising flour. We make the gluten-free. Juliet's gluten-free. You know, people who are then can have the food. But just flour. It's basically flour, and if you need to raise them up a bit, put a bit of baking powder in with it or something. So we're just going to give that a little stir. Now, what we've got to do to this is make it taste amazing. On its own, it's going to be a bit plain. So I don't know what you like, but a bit of ginger. Here I've got some mixed spice, organic mixed spice, and that's going to go in there. And then also cardamom. After saffron, the most expensive. Second most expensive is vanilla. And then the third most expensive spice in the world is saffron, and you get these pods. And inside, oh, there we go. Inside the pods, you've got these little black seeds. Amazing little black seeds. Ooh, yeah. Just pop that over there, that'll do. So let's just do another cardamom pod, shall we? So people are going to get some luxury biscuits. I'll put some saffron in it as well if I had. Saffron is amazing because it helps to repair the myelin sheath. It's an amazing thing, but all these herbs have got incredible properties. So that was a couple of cardamom. But if you use what you can, you might have a bit of nutmeg, fresh nutmeg. Grate some nutmeg, that's a great thing. Okay, we've got some fat. So you've got a few dry ingredients, right? Some oats and some flour. And on its own, that's not going to taste that great. We've got a pinch of Himalayan salt going in there, okay? But we've got to bind this, okay? We've got to bind it. So I've got some oil here, and that's literally all we've got left. I just melted coconut oil. I'll stir that round. That was just a couple of tablespoons, but if I'd have had more, I'd have put more in, but it'd be all right. Okay, so we've got to bind this together, okay? Bind this together. So we're going to put fruit in there. Oh, I tell you what, we had loads of peanut butter, so I'm just putting in a little bit of that. We've just got loads of it. Loads of open peanut butter. So to bind this, a banana's going to be a good bind. And they're natural sweetener bananas, and they're reasonably cheap, aren't they? Banana. So I'm gonna cut this up, but it needs to be quite small. This really, for it to work. So I'll cut it up reasonably small, and then I'll give it a mash in a minute. So yeah, organic bananas are cheap, fair trade, you know. It's not so hardly local food, but it's a natural sweetener. If you don't have honey, it's hard to get local. You know, what are you going to have? Coconut sugar, maple syrup. Talking of coconut sugar, we've got, look, coconut. Ooh, coconut sugar. There we go. Juliet says we're going to wash the tablecloth after this recipe. And then, just because we've got some, and if you get one of these peeler like this, is brilliant. Carrots are sweet, aren't they, in like a biscuit or something. So just a bit of carrot, just because we've got carrot. So you see the idea here, we're using what we've got. I've got some seeds here. Mixture seeds, because they're high in fat and protein, aren't they? Just a few. We're making about 12 biscuits here, I think. Right, so apple. These are our apples, our local apples. I'm filming this in the middle of January, and just because I picked some apples and I stored them, apples are amazing, aren't they? Now, the thing about an apple, you might not want that croggy bit there, but the stalk might hurt someone's teeth, but the seeds contain vitamin B17, which is very important for health. A lot of research on B17 and its healing effects of a certain disease, which I'm not going to talk about here on YouTube, but it begins with a C. Okay, so this apple, look, apple. Oh, apple in, who likes apple in cookies? Right, so it's going to be quite fruity, really, isn't it? It's going to be like a fruit cake biscuit thing. Pomegranate seeds. There was just some on the side. I thought I'll just put them in, and I've got some raspberries today. Now, again, these aren't fresh from the garden because it's winter time, but they were just cheap. I was in Waitrose today, and these were reduced. And you know, you just do what you can, don't you? You know. Oh, it'd be nice to have it all homegrown. Yeah, but I don't have my raspberries. We grew raspberries, but you know. Right. Let's put in some all you need. So we're gonna go. It's probably about 1.5, nearly a serving, nearly a whole serving. It's just so great in food. Alright, we're supercharging. This is, you just make it yourself. Am I making myself clear how to do it? You put in a bit of some oats, half as much flour, and then some stuff, right? Whatever you got. Mix it all up. Okay, now again, this isn't going to bind, but this is a secret here. Look, if you get a tea bag, like a yogi tea, like a spiced tea bag, right? I've made some tea here. If you don't have any mixed spice or anything, this is a really good way to do it. So I'm just going to add a little bit. Now ideally, I would have had, oh, it smells amazing. Ideally, I would have had some more, bit more oil in here, but I think it's still going to work. So what I'm going to do is just a bit at a time, I'm going to add a bit more water. And what we're looking for is that, well, it's that biscuit consistency, isn't it? I'm stirring it, can you see that? Oh my word. Oh yes. Oh yes. So, look at that, that's just, it smells amazing. So, here we go. I've got a pan here that has been greased with some coconut oil, a little bit that we had left. Oh God, it's going to be amazing. Okay, quite a good consistency. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these into balls. Alright. I know I'm making biscuits, yes, but how many did I say we were going to make? Did I say we were going to make 12? About 12 biscuits. We've got a community gathering tonight, so I thought I'd make some special biscuits. Now obviously you could add other things into here as well, couldn't you? Maybe some other plants that you've grown in your garden for a party, if you know what I mean. Obviously we're broadcasting this on YouTube, so we work within the parameters of YouTube. And of course other viewing platforms are available. You might be seeing this on a different platform, so hello. What did I say? Did I say we make about 12, didn't I? I don't think we'd fit 12 on this pan, but okay, now this is the thing, right? There's a bit of an art to this that I've developed over many years of making these cookies, making these biscuits. Right, these are going to be absolutely fantastic. So you kind of like a ball, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we made 10. So this is the first stage. I'm going to put the oven on about 180, right? When it's hot, I'm going to put these in for 10 minutes, all right? And then I'm going to show you what after 10 minutes at 180, because there's a little trick that you do to get them to taste absolutely amazing. So see you in a minute. I'm just going to put these in the oven. Here we go. Woo! Okay, so this is what we do now, you see. We give them a pat down. They've had 10 minutes, and they were quite runny before. Maybe I put a bit too much water in, to be fair. But look now, what I'm going to do is, and they're so solid now, right? And if you want a really good biscuit, if you cook them from both sides, okay? That's one of my secrets I'm revealing. All right, so how long have we've given them like 10 minutes, and what you want is that nice brown, or something that's starting to go on the underside. But can you see you can pat them out? We've got fruit in here. We've got seeds, we've got some nuts, flour. We binded it with some of that chopped fruit, didn't we? And also a little bit of oil, and then that water, and the oats and the flour. These are gluten free. So I'd say, maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, another 5. You've got to really just check on them. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, let's give it 5 more. Let's give it 5 more, see what they look like. I've just had a look. I think they need another 5 minutes just to really brown up. But you've got to check yourself. All of our ovens are different depending on the ingredients you've used, the type of flour, etc. So do that 10 minutes, that flip, squash them down, and then, yeah, maybe it is going to be another 10 after that. But you've got to just keep an eye on them. So let's see in another 5 minutes. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, and just sit there and cool for a little while. Oh man.